Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Gashi's Kaiman TV. There is a narrative going on in Kenya today about Ndindi Nyoro. It is not about his graduation today from the University of Nairobi with a master's in economics. It is not about Ndindi Nyoro's take and criticism of William Samoei Ruto's government when it comes to the borrowing, the huge debts, the separate account book about debts that the government is hiding. But it is about Nairobi gubernatorial position. That Ndindi Nyoro should contest the Nairobi gubernatorial position. That Ndindi Nyoro, supported by Rigathi Gachagua, Fred Okengo Matiang'i, and Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, would easily clinch the Nairobi gubernatorial position in 2027. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? Can Ndindi Nyoro win the Nairobi gubernatorial position in 2027? In my view, he can easily win. In my view, Ndindi Nyoro is one person who transcends the tribal agos. Ndindi Nyoro is a charismatic leader who has done so much for his Kiharu constituency. He is admired by many of his peers. When you look at Ndindi Nyoro can attract the votes of the young people. Ndindi Nyoro, if he's backed by the three giants, political giants in Kenya today, I'm telling you, nothing would stop Ndindi Nyoro from becoming the next governor of Nairobi. As we speak, Johnson Sakaja is staring at an impeachment. It is going to happen. It is going to happen. Not if, but when. The wave will be strong and Sakaja will be swept into Nairobi River by the opposition led by Raila Odinga's team uniting with Gachagua's team. And William Samoei Ruto's few number of MCAs cannot be able to save Johnson Sakaja this time round. But I want us to look at this narrative of Ndindi Nyoro vying for the gubernatorial position from a different perspective. If you look at Babuino has already declared his candidature for the gubernatorial seat in Nairobi. He has told Kenyans, with or without a political party, he is going for it. With the support of ODM or without the support of ODM, he is going for it. Nothing is going to stop him. Then here comes Ndindi Nyoro. Remember, there is the Kenya Moja that is led by Edwin Sifuna, Babuino, Gathoni Wamushoba, and others. And just the other day, Babuino told Kenyans that it's just a matter of time before Ndindi Nyoro joins them. Then these narratives come. Then we should ask ourselves, has Ndindi Nyoro himself declared his intention of vying for this position? Because when I look at Ndindi Nyoro is so dear to the people of Kiharu, and they have a very good rapport. Ndindi Nyoro is so much committed to the people of Kiharu. And I think he would feel like he's abandoning them if he were to vie for the Nairobi gubernatorial position. So I can say this, that this narrative, because it is not emanating from Ndindi Nyoro himself, it is a propaganda item, a propaganda method that is being actually used by either the NIS. These guys are very shrewd, because you see, after what happened in Malawi, when one term became a reality, the government panicked. governments all over Africa panicked because people have actually asserted themselves and they have shown the powers that be that they are just their employers. And the president and his team are just the employees of the people. So the government panicked. And therefore, it wants to divert the attention of Kenya Kwanza. Not Kenya Kwanza, Kenya Moja, hii akina Sifuna. And the government is very keen to ensure that there is a conflict between these two leaders, Nyoro and Babuino. Because if these two guys are going to unite, I'm telling you, especially as they have indicated that they are likely to work with the opposition, I'm telling you, the government must be very, very scared. And therefore, what the government is doing is trying to drive a wedge among these young leaders, such that they start blaming each other, such that there will be mistrust. And whenever there is mistrust in a formation, political formation, things actually goes on separate ways. The center cannot hold. Coalitions are built on trust. And when some parties do not trust each other, then such a coalition is bound to fail. So what we are seeing here, kile ambacho tunaona hapa ni mikakati ya serikali na majasusi kuleta uhasama baina ya hawa viongozi, vuguvugu la vijana, mabarubaru. Kwa sababu moto wa ari umeshawaka. Kwa hivyo the government is trying to put off the fire because they know that left on its own, this fire is going to consume everybody who be standing against this kind of change. So in my view, somebody was telling me that this idea is emanating from Rigathi Gachagua's team and Kalonzo and Wamalo and others. Well, I believe it can work. I think it can work if you ask me. It's a good idea. But it is bound to have problems if at all Babuino and Ndindi Nyoro are not going to agree. If they agree to support Babuino, so be it. I think that's the best option for now. And Babuino again should unite with the opposition for him to win this seat, this position. Because Raila Odinga's team, ODM, is not going to give him the ticket. Raila is supporting Sakaja. So let Babuino and Ndindi Nyoro come out very clearly and tell Kenyans, after all, we are brothers and we've agreed that Ndindi Nyoro is going to support me. Without that, I don't know what Kenyans are going to think. When I look at it from that angle, it is a double-edged sword. One, it can cut and tear the opposition into pieces. Two, it can also easily sell a good idea. It's also a good idea from the other hand. Inaweza kukata nyama upande ule mwingine na minofu ikaigia upande wa Ndindi Nyoro. Don't joke with politicians. Don't joke with William Samoei Ruto. Don't joke with William Samoei Ruto. He is a shrewd politician and he's not going to sleep. By the way, I noted, I also an item that was trending about Farouk Kibet, that William Samoei Ruto is not that president of Malawi who was actually vanquished. That Kenya is not Malawi and they are going to do everything possible to ensure William Samoei Ruto rule all the way to 2032. Na watu wakicheza ati ataenda mpaka 2042 kama Moi alivyofanya akatawala miaka 24. So you can see this is a big joke. Power has gone into their heads. Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you a simple question. Given Ndindi Nyoro and Babuino is a governor of Nairobi, whom would you vote for? Ladies and gentlemen, please guys vote and let me know what you think about this idea. Till next time, this is Gashi Skyman. Bye-bye.